Well. Here we are one more time. Doc Ock at noon and 9. Hope y'all feeling fine out there in live stream land. I really hope you are. Today is another day to make you holler and help you try to not live in squalor, because don't nobody want to live in squalor. Yep. Nobody wants to live in squalor. And why should you? You should have everything, and if you are everything you can be, you should have everything you need. Exactly. If you are everything you can be, you should have everything you need. Now, that's a brand new proverb. I just made that one up. Y'all can take that to the bank. Take it to the bank. Okay. But the real proverb for today is, you can hide the fire, but what you gonna do with the smoke? You can hide the fire, but what you gonna do with the smoke? That's what we call a African-American plantation proverb. An African-American plantation proverb. There you go, in a nutshell. Okay, so we're going to try to congeal some things that may not seem like they go together into one little body of work this morning, because that's what we do. That's what we do here at Doc Ock at noon and 9. So today we're going to talk about, in a kind of a roundabout way, we're going to talk about leadership. So that proverb, you can hide the fire, but what you going to do with the smoke? That has to do with leadership. It has to do with our leaders, what we expect from our leaders, and what do we actually get? Do we expect our leaders to live the lives of saints? And if we do we expect them to live a life like, say, for some of you Catholics, maybe you can relate to this, St. Augustine? Because from what I understand, St. Augustine did a whole lot of whoring before he got born. A whole lot of whoring before he got born, and always talking about God this and God that. He wasn't always talking like that. Yeah, he used to be quite a different person for hanging out in some of the local brothels over there in North Africa where he was from. But later on, he got the Holy Ghost. So we're going to talk about somebody that some people look at as some kind of a spiritual leader. That's what our poem today is going to be about. Somebody that some people think of as being like a spiritual leader. Why? For a number of reasons. Number one, he died young. Number two, he was afflicted with various maladies while he was around. And he definitely had a love of some things that he might have been better off not dealing with, but then he wouldn't have been the man that he was. Think about it. Don't think about it. The poem is, again, out of Vibes from the Scribes. Bird's word. Everything was silent, and then Ma Rainey spread black news by the way of the backwater blues as Bessie Smith picked up on it and spread the word through music and song. Then the message passed on. Chick Webb, King Oliver, Buddy Bolden, and Jelly Roll Morton, and they played the word and passed it along to Louis Armstrong, Fats Navarro, Charlie Ventura, Roy Eldridge, and Fats Waller, who was known to holler, "The joint is jumping with a fat man's joy," as everybody started stomping at the Savoy. Then the word grew strong as the immortal bird came along and blew all the blackness that was true with some brand new turning everybody on with his unforgettable horn. As Lester Young became the first prez of our race, and we turned around and dug on the beautiful face of Billie Holiday, as Billie began to sing praises to the black man's thing. The good brother Monk threw in some funk so that the whole world could see what he is, was, and always will be, a genius creatively. Then Miles began to set new styles that put us miles ahead, as Dizzy set us free to be ourselves and ride to heaven from hell in the latest El Dorado, coming for to carry us home. Then Dinah sang finer as Duke and Ella rode to fame, going to Harlem on the A train, and we tuned in to Charlie Mingus's bass, setting a soulful pace that let us taste the down sound that found our hearts beating to the voice and drums of Abby Lincoln and Max Roach in their trip up their hip approach to blackness. Then Eddie Jefferson crooned an original tune as Lambert, Hendrix, and Ross scattered a new chorus, and we sampled King Pleasure's Treasure and listened to James Moody's Moans, and then dug the dynamite drums of brother Philly Joe Jones as Milt Jackson played the vibes and leaps and strides with the MJQ that sped our pride into sophisticated funkiness. Meanwhile, Sonny Rollins was building the bridge for us to leave behind our grief, for the soulful relief to find our own minds, to tune in on Bud Powell, who played the piano with funky hands as he filled the seats and made them stand on funky nights down in Birdland. Then the mighty Hawk made his horn talk, and we heard Baby Ray play What I Say and jam the set to Dig Ornette, as Art Blakey broke free, spreading the message to you and me to dig on the trumpet of KD, as we broadened our range and counted our change with Basie, as Earl Father Hines blew our minds, and we grew fonder of Earl Garner, as Eddie Harris beat our ear talking about Listen Here, and Eric Dolphy made his stand with a side called Iron Man, and Gene Ammons told his soul, and we mined Horace's silver that bought funky gold. Then Oscar Brown and Joe Williams got down, and we spun around, 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 and Doug Clifford Brown getting downtown, blowing a sweet funk sound of soul with a rhythm of gold, and along 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 came Train, who blew away all the pain, 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 all the pain in the name of all black people on the planet Earth and all the stars in the cosmic universe, as Brother Train blew to the east to destroy the beast and bring back peace to black people. And everybody heard the majestic word of Train's horn telling us of a love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme for black people that grew strong and on 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 and on, from the soul, from the heart, from the spirit, from the brain, from the love of Brother John Coltrane. Then Jimmy Smith got funky with it and preached a sermon not to walk on the wild side, but ride with Wes Montgomery on the mild side. He played his best every day in our life as Shirley Scott's organ got hot and she and Stanley set more funk free as Ahmad Jamal played with renewed ability to give our minds some tranquility so that we could listen to an in-soul depth. Brother Archie Shep as Jackie McLean broke on the scene, blowing mean and harder for everybody to listen to Betty Carter as sunrise shined and cannonballs horn whined, mercy, mercy, mercy. So Sonny Stitt started piping it, and we couldn't get enough of Brother Jack McDuff as Freddie Hubbard began to bud, and we heard from Donald Byrd, and there'll be no others like the Isla brothers. Then Wayne Shorter grew taller, and our ship left dock with Herbie Hancock as we rode with Lee Morgan and grooved on Richard Holmes' organ, and then dug the soul of Art Tatum produced the sound that made him as Rufus Harley blew an old new type bagpipe that put the pants back on the man, and Nina Simone groaned, Mississippi, God damn. And Brother Jack McCoy gave us peace and joy as Elvin brought our Freedom Jones down on us. Then Charles Lloyd filled the void, and we watched Roland Kirk work, and with a sigh of relief, listened to Yusef Lateef blow in a flow of flurries of peace from the east as Pharaoh Sanders floated down the Nile with Brother Leon Thomas to herald the promise of peace and happiness throughout the land. All praise is due to the creator of the black man, black man. Amen. And that's the end of that tune. Yeah. So it go. That wasn't exactly the piece I expected I was going to be reading today. I thought I was reading a different piece, but that's all right because it fit right in. Because any way it goes, we can always gain inspiration from many different pieces and many different parts, but they all fit together in the end. And so we're going to end right now with our featured piece today from brother, none other than the brother, Bill Cosby. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I'm going there. I'm going all the way to the Cos because we saw him as a leader too at one point. He even did a piece called Black History Lost, Stolen, or Strayed. Check it out. See what you think. Black History Lost, Stolen, or Strayed. It's an old piece. It's somewhat dated, but check it out anyway because we should not let these things unabated. We need to check it out even if it is just a little bit dated. This one is called Bus Stop Beauties. Entertainer Bill Cosby grew up in Philly. Here he explains why he spent so much of his youth watching traffic. What was he watching? What was he looking for? Young men no longer stand at drugstores and make plaintive cries to young women in this age of the equal female. But what memories I have of those boyhood evenings at a bus stop named Desire. I remember the acceleration of my heart one night when a particular object of my fancy came by. She had already rejected me. It rejected every other guy, but I still dreamed she would fall for me. I dreamed that maybe her weakness was a man with a zit on the bridge of his nose. She was aloof and elusive, this beauty, a girl who walked as erectly as a Marine, was always well dressed, and never went to parties because at parties you met guys like us. The problem was that she would have to fall for me without my encouragement because whenever I saw her, I was transfixed, afraid to make a move or utter a word. Sometimes one of the guys would walk one of the girls into the drugstore, but I never had the nerve to approach this princess? What could I have said? Does your mother have gas again? Guess how many buses stop here every hour? Nah. Did you like the way World War II came out? Really? Like that famous tree in the forest without people. When Cosby fell for a girl, did he make any sound? That's the real question. On certain nights, we drugstore dreamers remained at our watch so long that our parents felt we must have been misbehaving. What were you doing till after midnight, Bill? My father said early one morning when I returned from another plunge into unrequited love. Nothing, I replied. Well, tonight you can do it in the house, god damn it. But it's better to do nothing outdoors. You see, a lot of my friends also like to do nothing, and we do it together. Then have them come here. It's not the same kind of nothing. Exactly what kind of nothing do you do outdoors? We stand at the bus stop and do what? Make change? No, we just watch the traffic. Okay, suppose I give you a job and paid you $2 an hour to stand on that corner and just watch people get on and off the bus. You wouldn't stand there an hour. I would if I could have my friends with me, but they wouldn't be with you because they have a little mental problem. They're terrified of work. Dad, you don't understand. What I'm looking for on that corner is the woman of my life. You don't know any girls who walk around any place else. You got to meet buses. Seriously? I go to an all-boys school, and it's got no girls for me to carry their books. I always thought I could get a girl from the way I play basketball, but they never watch me play because they never come out in the daytime. Dad, do you know where girls go in the daytime? He frowned and was silent for a few seconds. Maybe they leave Philly, he said. I don't know. That's why I'm watching the buses. That's why I'm watching the buses. Okay. From America's father, Bill Cosby. Just remember, your daddy is your daddy, even if your mama don't know she's your daddy. Your daddy's still your daddy. Your daddy's always going to be your daddy, and ain't nothing you can do about him being your daddy because he's already your daddy. You can't disown your daddy. Well, you could disown your daddy, but you didn't have nothing to give him in the first place. So your daddy's always your daddy. So, what about Bill? Why is he still in jail? Think about that for a minute. Why is Bill in jail and everybody else seems to get a pass? Oh, well, except for Epstein, but he checked out early. Okay? But everybody else gets a pass. Stone, Cohen, Manafort. Need I say more? Not because then I'd be a bore. So let me just move on since we've already settled the score so I don't just sit here and be a bore. This is Doc Ock checking out. I like you to check out some things as well. While you're at it, go on over to our YouTube, to our eBay store, Pyramid Books. Look for it. See what you can find. Maybe you find something there for you and for your chilling too. And in the meantime, we'll be back here tonight at 9. Look for us again at 9 o'clock because we're about to rock with some stories for the chilling. See you till then because we're about to start chilling.